Hey guys, I'm back again, and basically we're gonna do toasts and buttons. And I'm gonna delete these two image views because I really don't need them. What's the need for three smiley faces when you already have one? So I'm gonna click delete on these. And then what I'm gonna do is my code looks pretty messy, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do Control A or Command A. Then I'm gonna do Control Alt L, which will reformat my code to look better. Alright, so what I said was to make toasts and buttons. So let's first make a button. I'm going to make it right below this. So I'm going to go to Design. I'm going to click on Button. And I'm going to drag it to right here. And I'm going to double click on this. So double click. And I'm going to change the button to be click if you're happy. I'm going to change it happy button. So this is the ID. So this ID is very essential if you want to reformat your UI. So make sure you keep the ID something unique to the button or unique to the image or text or whatever. Okay, so I'm going to call it happy button. Then I'm going to go to text and you can see click if you're happy. And currently if I were to run this, it won't do anything. If I click it, nothing would happen. So what I want to do is over here, I'm going to type in on click, and it should be the first one. I'm going to click enter. And after it says Android on click, I'm going to type in a method that I want to describe in my .java file. So I'm going to head over to my .java file, and I'm going to describe a method here. So I'm going to type in public void if happy. You might want to type all your methods, button type things in camel case, so then you will know what type of things, what type of methods you have to type in, so you don't have to Control C, Control V and all that. So I'm going to do brace, and I'm going to type in view, and you can name this view whatever you want, but I'm going to name it view. And I'm going to put a curly brace, and I'm going to click enter. Now I'm going to go back to the .xml file and type in if happy, and it should pop up, and I'm just going to click enter. And it's there. So when I click the button, it's still not going to do anything because I haven't defined anything in my method. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do toasts. And basically a toast is something that will pop at the bottom of the screen with a little bit of text for a short amount of duration. So what I'm going to do is type in toast dot make text, and I'm just going to click enter on one of them. And it's this one, I think. No, it's this one. Then I'm going to say get application, comma. I'm going to type in whatever my text is, comma. And then I'm going to say length, long or short. So basically long is for a long duration, like your text will appear there for a while. And then a short will be just like very short. You'll see it's not going to stay there forever, but you know, it's going to stay there for enough to the user to see. Then at the end, I want to put a semicolon. And over here, I want to put a text. So I'm going to say, good, you're happy. So yeah, that looks good. I'm going to hover over this. It says, toast created, but you forgot to show. So yeah, so at the end of this, before the semicolon, you got to say dot show. And you got to click enter. And that should fix it. So I said good, you're happy, and I said dot show. This dot show at the end is very essential because if you don't show it, I mean, there's no point of the code. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my XML and I'm going to click play. You don't have to go back to your XML to click play, but it just gives me a sense of reliability. I'm going to click play. I'm going to select my Nexus 6P API 23. Then I'm going to click OK. And I'll just pause the video right now. And if it takes like 2 seconds, then I won't. Okay, maybe I'll pause it. And I'll be right back when it's done. So now that it's done loading, I'm going to see whether it actually works. So I'm going to say click if you're happy. Good, you're happy. So now you see that length short, it's like very short. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to change it to long. And now you see that this whole thing's in the way. So all you got to do is go to the right and click this down arrow and it should be gone. But before I go to my .java file, I want to change this click if you're happy to go more down. So let's go down here to this. I'm going to say, let's see, I'll say margin bottom, click enter, I'll say 30 dp. Alright, now I'm going to head over to my next project. And if you notice some lag, it's because I'm recording my screen and there's an emulator on, so that may put my stuff at lag. Okay. So now I'm going to make this length short to length long. Alright. Now I'm going to go back to my XML and I'm going to make another button. It's going to say click if you're sad. And what we're going to do is we're going to change this image view. And so we're going to learn how to make another toast as well as learn something new. It's called instances. So, but before we do that, I'm going to have to first create that button. So what I'm going to do, instead of going to the design, I'm just going to copy this and I'm going to paste it below. It should just stack below it. And over here, I'm going to call it sad button. Alright, so now that I got that, I'm going to make margin on the first one. So, because they're a little too close. Maybe 10, maybe 30. 30 is my favorite number. Android. I'm just going to type in margin, bottom, and then I'm going to say 30 dp. See what that does. Okay, so that's perfect. And now I want to change this smiley face into a more neutral smiley face, you know? Because, I mean, if you're happy, then you'll want the smiley face. If you're not, then you're not. So I'm going to change this click if you're happy. I'm going to make it click if you're sad. And that should change it over there. So first, I'm going to go down to if happy, and I'm going to create an instance of my image view. So what we do is we type in image view. Then I'm going to type in, I'm just going to type in I'm going to type in happy image equals to, I'm going to say find view. Wait a second, it's lagging. Okay, find view by ID. I'm going to double click on this. Then I'm going to say r.id dot, and it's going to, this is the only image view I have, so I'm going to click on image view. And I'm going to go here. And it's going to show an error. So you're going to have to go all the way over here, right after the equals, and say Alt Enter. And then you're going to want to click Enter again. And it's going to cast it for you. So then I'm going to go to XML, and I want to change this image view ID because I'm just going to call it happy, sad, neutral, okay, image. So I'm going to Control C that, and then I'm going to show you guys something that's better. Control C. And then now I'm going to do Control Z. Okay, so once you've got the selected image, thing, you want to right click on it. You want to go down to refactor, and you want to go to rename. And what this will do And what this will do is that not only will it rename here, it will rename anywhere else that you've used that same ID. So you don't have to go Control C, Control V everywhere you've had that. I'm going to click refactor. And then I'm going to go down here and look, it changed it for me. Alright, so now we've got the instance of the image view. But now I want to set this image to something else. So I'm going to say happy image dot set, it's drawable. It's okay, I need that. Alright, so I'm going to say set image drawable. But before I do that, I'm going to X out this emulator because it's lacking my computer. So I'm going to exit out. Okay, so now we're back to normal. So let me type in set, and it's going to say image drawable. Okay, and then I'm going to say r dot drawable dot. So we already have funny pictures, so this is what we're going to set it to. But now you see that it's showing an error, and it says image view cannot be applied. So what we have to do is we have to create an int. So let's X this out, and we're going to say int drawable, I think. No, I'm going to call it so when you're setting image to drawable, you've got to go here and you gotta say get resource. No, not get resource, get drawable. Then you do r dot drawable dot funny picture. And then I'm gonna copy and paste this. I'm gonna control X it, then I'll control V it. Should work. Yeah, it works. And now you see that it's showing an error here that says call requires API level 21 and current minimum is 15. So basically what it's saying is that you cannot use this method unless if it's API level 21. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to this Gradle script right here, click it, then we're going to go to the build.gradle app, okay? And then we're going to go to this one, and then it says min SDK version. You want to change that to 21, okay? And then you want to click sync now. It shouldn't take more than a few seconds. Okay. Still running. So while we're waiting for that, I'll just let that go in the background. And so it finished. So now we have public void if happy. Now we want, what if they're sad? So we're going to say public void if sad. And then basically I'm just going to copy and paste this. It's really easy. So once you've coded something, you don't really have to code it again. So instead of, yeah, I want happy image and I want to set it to a different picture. I want to set it to a picture called sad. But we don't have sad. But I downloaded one right here, sad.png, so I'm going to click Control C. And I'm going to go to my res, drawable, and I'm going to Control V. Click OK. And it should fix it. Sad. And instead of happy image, I'm going to call it sad image. And sad image. Alright. So now instead of saying make text good you're happy, I'm going to say good you're sad. Now you're wondering why this one is yellow and this one's gray. That's because this method hasn't been used. So I'm going to head over back to my .xml file and I'm going to go to my second button. I'm going to type in on click. Instead of saying if sad, I'm going to say instead of saying if happy, I'm going to say if sad. So now it's going to make a text and it's going to change this. But I want this picture right here to be more neutral. So I'm going to go to Firefox. And I'm going to search up a more neutral. Neutral smiley face. Smiley face. So we found some. None of these are really looking good though. Maybe I could use this one. Let's see if there's more. No. I'll use this one. So then I can click Save Image and then go to Pictures and I'm going to call it Neutral.